You're listening to the Law of Attraction Radio Network.
Julie Ryan, noted psychic and medical intuitive, is ready to answer your personal questions, even those you never knew you could ask. For more than 20 years, as she's developed and refined her intuitive skills, Julie used her knowledge as a successful inventor and businesswoman to help others. Now, she wants to help you grow, heal, and get the answers you've been longing to hear. Do you have a question for someone who's transitioned? Do you have a medical issue? What about your pet's health or behavior? Perhaps you have a loved one who's close to death and you'd like to know what's happening. Are you on the path to fulfill your life's purpose? No matter where you are in the world, take a journey to the other side and ask Julie Ryan.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm so delighted you could join us this week. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all around the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. And this week, we are not doing a live show because Tim and I are headed to Ohio for a funeral. My sister-in-law Terry's dad died on Saturday morning, and the funeral is Wednesday and Thursday. So I will not be doing a live show, but I do have a treat. And what I'm going to do this week is just answer a bunch of questions that people have submitted online. And I have my honey, my husband, my best friend, my main squeeze, Tim, who's going to read the questions for us, just so we can have a change of voice. So say hi, honey.
Good evening, everybody. Glad to be on Julie's show.
So I coerced him. No, I didn't. I asked, and he was very gracious to agree to read the questions for me. And he has such a great voice anyways. A lot of people ask him if he's on the radio. So, honey, this may be your breakout show. Maybe somebody will discover you.
It may be, and I appreciate you asking me, and I'm always happy to help you, sweetheart.
Okay. All right. So what's our first question? Who's it from?
Well,
and read the question.
Okay. The question comes from Laura from Washington, Virginia. Laura says, "Hi, Julie. My Aunt Lynn told me about you and asked me to see if you would help with my dog, Fly. He has not been acting right for a few months now. Numerous veterinarians can't seem to find anything wrong with Fly. All x-rays are perfect. Lab work is perfect. Can you help? Thanks, Laura."
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to Laura in Virginia. And how I do this, everybody, is I raise my vibrational level to the level of spirit, because we're all spirits attached to a body having a human experience. And when our spirits are attached to a body, we vibrate more slowly, just because the body has mass. So when I raise my vibrational level, what happens is I'm able to connect with spirits both alive and deceased. So, Laura, I'm going to connect to you, and from you to your dog, Fly, which I think is a hilarious name. So I'm going to connect to you and then to Fly, and then we'll see what's going on with your puppy. So here we go. Here comes my laser beam from Birmingham, Alabama. Going to hook into you in Virginia. Got you. Okay, went to Fly. All right, Fly. I'm going to get him on my radar. And so Fly looks really inflamed. Inflammation looks like red fog on body parts, whether it's a human or an animal. So I'm going to get that calmed down with anti-inflammatory energy, which is a royal blue color. And let me see what's going on with Fly the dog. Fly has a parasite, Laura. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to blast the daylights out of it and get it removed. So this is a healing on Fly. And parasites look like these little bugs that are in the intestinal tract, and it's making him not feel well. And so I use an energetic laser, blast the daylights out of him, and all that's left is the carcass of the parasite. And then what I'm doing is removing that and just running energy through his whole GI tract, which is really inflamed. And it's so inflamed, it almost looks like it's oozing tissue. So I'm putting an energetic cream in there that has anti-inflammatory properties, and also it's rocket fuel to heal tender tissues. I use this on humans, too. It works great. So I'm putting that on, and then shooting some energy into him one last time. He's going to sleep for a while, but I think he's going to be much better. So I hope that helps. And if he's not better, next time you see the vet, ask him to be tested for a parasite. I think this should take care of it, though. Okay, thanks for your question, Laura. Okay, Tim, what's our next question and from who?
Okay, well, we sure hope Fly gets better soon. Thank you, Julie. Sarah from Tinley Park, Illinois. Hello, Julie. My name is Sarah, and I was born on November 22nd, 1998. I have feelings for Justin, who was born on February 18th, 1999. Are we meant to be together? When will he start showing his feelings for me? Is he worth waiting for? If he's not the one who is, when will I meet them? Thank you so much. Thinking about this stresses me out, and I'm grateful for your help. Sarah.
Okay, Miss Sarah, I'm going to connect to you, and then we'll get some questions answered. So when we get fixated on one person as a love interest, and especially if they're not interested, I think what happens is that we can just kind of stop the natural flow of who's supposed to show up for us. And case in point is on the other end of the call here tonight, Tim. I met Tim, you guys, standing behind him in line in the Kansas City airport. And I had, his back was to me. He was standing right in front of me, and his back was to me, and he's a big ex-football player. And I had was ready to put my arms around him and start hugging on him. And I thought, oh, my God, Ryan, you're just tired. Go home and go to bed. I hadn't even seen his face yet. So when he turned around, I thought, ooh, you know, he's really handsome, too. And we were flying on Southwest, and so we sat together on the plane. And I married him a year later, and that's how I got to Birmingham, you guys. So, Sarah, you just never know what's going to happen and when it's going to happen and how it's going to happen. And the more we try and control it, the more we stop the flow of magical, wonderful things happening. So is Justin your soulmate? No. Is Justin interested in you in a romantic way? I get a yes. Is Justin worth waiting for? Yes. Is Justin the only one for you to wait for? No. You know, all these questions. So my feeling is let whoever's going to come in, and if Justin's going to come find you, let him come to you. It's much easier to receive than to push. So those are my answers on him. Good luck on that. And then remember one thing, too. When you are no longer with somebody, I just want you to remember one 4-letter word. Are you ready? Are you ready for it? Here it is. Next. NEXT. So I tell all my sorority girls where I'm an advisor, you know, when their heart's broken and they're crying and they're upset and all of that, I just say, just remember that 4-letter word, next, and then move on. So, okay. Thanks, Sarah. Who we have next, Tim?
Okay, Julie. Bob from Albuquerque, New Mexico asked, hi, Julie. I'm having prostate problems and would like your assistance if possible. Thank you, Bob.
Okay. Well, that's short and sweet. All right, Bob. I'm going to hook into you, get you on my radar, and let's see what's going on. Here we go. Laser beams heading from Sweet Home, Alabama, out to Albuquerque. All right, got you. Shoot energy. Okay. Prostate, looks like you may have a little cancer stuff going on there. It's definitely enlarged. So what I'm going to do on this healing is I want to put a membrane around the cancer cells that I'm seeing in your prostate. And so that will basically cordon them off so they won't spread. And then I'm going to remove them from your body. It's like I put a membrane around them, encapsulate them, and put a membrane around them. And then for your enlarged prostate, what I'm going to do is what's called an energetic TURP procedure, TURP. I think it stands for transurethral prostate resection of the prostate. And it's done all day, every day in hospitals all throughout the world. It's very, very common. It's an outpatient procedure that's done. And what it does is it shaves part of the prostate off so that it doesn't restrict urine flow. So I'm doing that. And then as far as the cancer goes, what I'm going to do is what I call genome editing. And so I'm going to work on fixing the mutations in your gene, in your genome, which is your DNA. And I see 3 strands of DNA coming out of a chromosome. I'm watching the sequence of the letters A, T, C, and G get rearranged. And on a strand of DNA, Bob, there can be between 100,000 letters and 1 billion letters. That's a billion with a B. So what happens is normally environmental factors cause a mutation in the DNA, which is the recipe that tells the genes or tells the cells how to behave. And by fixing that mutation, the cells go back to behaving normally. So you've had 3 strands of DNA redone and mutations corrected, and I hope that helps, and I hope you feel better. You may want to do a private session with me, Bob. Go to AskJulieRyan.com and schedule a consult. We can do a deep dive and see what else is going on, too, and just be sure that, that we've got a handle on this for you. Okay. Thanks, Bob. All right. Who else do we have, Tim?
Okay. Griselle from Laverne, California. Hi, Julie. There is something telling me that I need to find out if I'm on the right path. I feel someone is trying to communicate with me. I just don't know who it is. Can you please help me find out who the spirit is and what is the message they're trying to convey? Thanks, Griselle.
Okay. Spell that name for me, Tim.
I will. I may be pronouncing it wrong. I apologize, but it's Gricel.
Griselle. No, I think you're pronouncing it right. Okay. All right. So here we go, Griselle. I am going to connect to you in California. Here comes my laser beam. All right, got you. Shooting energy. Well, you've got a spirit guide behind you who is trying to communicate with you. The spirit guide's name is calling himself Matthew. Now, spirits don't have a sex, but they use names. So they incorporate in different lifetimes. We all incorporate in different lifetimes as either a male or a female. In the lifetime that this guy's advising you on, his name was Matthew in that lifetime. So let me see what Matthew has to say to you. All right. He's saying that you're a teacher. His words were, you're a teacher through and through. And I don't know if you're a teacher right now in a school, but that's just one way to teach, Griselle. I think a lot of us are teachers, not necessarily in the education system, but in other ways. We can be a teacher in a company or a teacher online or a teacher teaching driver's ed, for a private company, or, a teacher at a library, a teacher, really anybody that works in HR and is involved in training as a teacher. So Matthew is saying you're a teacher through and through, and by focusing on what it is you really love to do, that's going to give you information on your path. So see if that resonates with you as far as being a teacher. The other thing I can tell you is you're going to get inspiring thoughts. A thought's going to come in your head, and you're going to think, oh, maybe I should do this, or maybe I should do that. First of all, there's no should. It's just whether or not it feels good and whether or not you want to do it and you think it sounds fun. And if it does, take one step. It may mean that you're checking something out online, you're researching something. It may mean that you're talking to somebody. It may mean that you're exploring job possibilities in whatever area you're interested, whether that be in the typical education system or in corporate America or whatever. I also think that when you take one step and you act on something that you're inspired to check out, then the next step's going to show up. Take action on that. When we think too far in the future, it freezes our brains. because we don't have the human capacity to know what's going to unfold and how it's going to unfold. There are too many variables. So just take it one step at a time. Follow your inspiration. Going to get another inspiring thought. Follow that, and then you're going to be led to whatever it is that your soul's path is. So good luck with that. Let us know what happens. Thanks, Griselle. Okay, who do we have next?
Okay, we have Brandy from Washington, Utah, and she asked, "Hi again, Julie. We're now had 2 personal appointments. The first one when I asked about my swollen lymph nodes, and the second when I asked about the aching in my hip joints. On both occasions, I forgot to ask this little question. I was hoping you could do a quick scan on me. I have suffered from cystic acne since I was 17. Wow. I am now 25. In the past year, I've changed my diet drastically, cutting out dairy, all gluten, and factory-famed meats. The cystic acne has subsided substantially, although I'm still left with small, stubborn pimples across my shoulders, back, jawline, cheeks, and chin. I'm very conscious of what I put onto my skin, as well as what I put in my body. Is there anything you can tell me to provide me with some relief? It would be so lovely to experience a year or 2 with clear skin before wrinkles make their way onto my face. If it is simply generic, I'm missing a vital nutrient of vitamins. Are there any products that are revealed to you that might help me? I wish I could call into the podcast and chat with you personally, but I typically work Thursday evenings, and the nature of my job won't allow me the time it would take to call in and talk. I would greatly appreciate your help answering my questions. Thank you, Sister Brandy."
Wow. All right. So, Brandy, I'm going to hook into you in Utah, and let's see what's going on with your acne. Here we go. Acne usually has to do with diet more than anything. So, got my laser beam hooked into you. Okay, shooting energy from your feet through the top of your head. All right, you're being turned around to the back. I have a hologram of you in my mind's eye. You're being turned around to the back. I can see the acne on your shoulders. Looks like it's on the back of your neck, too, and up even into your scalp a little bit. So, all right, what do we need to do? So I'm watching it get healed, and it was like a tape with the zits on it was peeled off your back. It's like a layer of skin was peeled off your back, and underneath was pink, healthy skin. So I got that. Same with the back of your neck and your scalp. I'm watching a laser actually go in and get rid of the pimples that are in your scalp. Okay, let me shoot some energy through you again. What I'm seeing is stalks of wheat. Like, you probably have a wheat allergy. Tim, did she say that she's off wheat too? I heard dairy. What else is she off?
Well, let's see. All gluten, so that would be the wheat, and factory farmed meats.
Okay. So gluten, if you eat gluten-free stuff, it just means the gluten's been taken out. It doesn't mean that she's off of all wheat. So that would make sense to me. So
I agree.
Get off of all wheat, Brandy, and stay away from dairy, stay away from processed foods. You know my philosophy, if God made it, eat it. If man made it in a factory, avoid it. And so that's a pretty easy thing to do. Factory farm meats, I agree, are bad news. Try and eat grass-fed meats. Try and eat organic, free-range chicken, wild-caught fish. Make sure you have a good amount of good fats in your diet with coconut and refined coconut oil and olive oil and avocado and grass-fed butter and stuff like that. And Brandy, if you email me, julie@askjulieryan.com, I will send you a link to a gut biome test you can have done. And that'll tell us exactly what foods are going to be best for you and what foods to stay away from. And that link that I'm going to send you is going to be for 50% off. Anybody that's listening, if you want that, just email me, Julie@AskJulieRyan.com, and I'll get that to you as well. But, Brandy, this is food-related. Get off all processed foods, anything that's refined. If God made it, eat it. If man made it, or man made it with man-made ingredients, don't eat it. So good luck with that. Let us know how you're doing. Okay, who's next?
Okay, we've got Maria Joyce from Dumfries, Virginia. She asks, "Hi, Julie. I'm writing to ask you for help regarding my older son. Patrick is 8. We adopted him at 3 weeks old, and he has always had explosive anger and started as an inability to sleep and frequent tantrums. As he is getting older and stronger, his anger is almost becoming more violent and directed at his father and me. He is the kindest, gentlest boy most of the time, but his explosive anger and inability to regulate his emotions are getting out of control. His behavior has escalated from threats of violence to scratching, hitting, and punching. Also, since very little, he has had a few tendencies that strike me as spectrum adjacent. He likes to line up his cars and toys in a very orderly fashion. And when he plays, he hums a loud humming sound. It's how he knows he's in the zone, and he does it unconsciously. I'm sure his anger regarding his adoption his being adopted translatorily is black, white, or white. We've had him in therapy for about a year, and while helpful, I feel like there is a missing piece, but I hope you'll be able to fill in for us. Thank you so much, Maria."
Okay, so here we go. I'm going to connect to you, Maria, and then from you I'm going to connect into Patrick, and I'm going to ask his permission to scan him. Even though he's only 8, I'd never scan anybody without their permission because I just don't believe it's ethical to do that. And so here we go. Here comes my laser beam. Got you, Maria. All right. From you, I got Patrick. Patrick, I'm talking to your mom. Is it okay if I do an energetic medical scan on you? No. He's saying no. All right. So I can, but I won't. Like I said, it's an invasion of his privacy, but we can still get some information. Has Patrick been exposed? A lot of times these anger issues have to do with toxins and or mold exposure and or vaccine toxins, the preservatives that are in vaccines. I'm sure he's been immunized. So let's ask questions on those, Maria. So has Patrick had some exposure to toxic chemicals? I'm getting yes. Even before I got the question out, has Patrick been exposed to toxins in vaccines that are affecting his anger issues? Yes. Has Patrick, I got that too, that there may be some vaccine thing. By the way, you guys, if you're doing vaccines with your kids, and I know that's such a controversial topic, be sure that you ask for the single-dose vials, because in the multi-dose vials, they have preservatives in them, in some instances lots of preservative. But if it's a single-dose vial, it doesn't. And if you ask the nurse who's going to do the vaccinating for the single-dose shots, make them show them to you, because I have even had parents that have asked for it and then found out later that they didn't use it. They used it out of the multi-dose vials. So remember that if you're getting your kids immunized. Okay, so Patrick, what can your family do to help you with your anger management issues? I'm getting he's going to need special nutrients and vitamins to heal. I think he can heal. I think he needs more good fat in his diet. Olive oil, avocado, that kind of stuff that I was just talking about. And the other thing is I would look up Amen Clinics, AMEN, clinics.com. Amen, like amen at the end of a prayer. It's spelled the same way. They really specialize in children that have these issues and in adults too. And this is a traumatic brain injury in a lot of cases caused by environmental toxins. Can also be caused by traumatic brain injury from concussions. Athletes, pro football players, pro hockey players, they have those issues too. And that's one of the symptoms is anger, especially even in those adults. So get in touch with amenclinics.com and see if some of the information there resonates with you and what's going on with Patrick. And hopefully they can help you. Okay, who do we have next?
Okay, Julie, we have Penny from Terrence, British Columbia, Canada. Hi, Julie. Why did my nephew, Stephen, choose to leave this world at the young age of 15 by hanging himself? Hoping your insights can help bring peace to his family and me. Thanks, Penny.
Wow. Okay. So, Penny, I'm going to connect to you, and then Stephen, I'm sure will be standing right next to you because they always know when we're talking about them, and usually they're standing to the person's right when that happens. So here we go. Here comes my laser beam up to you in Canada. That's a long way from Sweet Home, Alabama. All right. Got you. Yeah, he's standing right next to you. Okay. So, Stephen, what's up with how you exited and why did you choose that method? He's saying it was quick and easy. It was accessible to him. Why did you die? I was done. Done with what? Done with all the pain. It wasn't fun anymore. Is there anything that you want to tell your family? I'm sorry for the hurt that I caused them, and I'm around them all the time. They'll think that they're seeing me out of the corner of their eye, some of them, and they are, but they discount it. So, Penny, tell them that when they think they're seeing Stephen, they are. He's saying he sends red cardinals, the red cardinal bird, to them. When they see a cardinal, he sends it. He's also saying that when they go for a walk in the woods, that he's with them, and he likes to go with them, especially if there's snow on the ground. He's showing me a scene of walking through the woods on the snow. He's completely blissful, is what he's saying. He's out of pain. He was done. He was done. He had done what he wanted to do when he was here, and this was a quick, easy way for him to go. So I hope, Penny, that helps give you some peace. Remember, we all decide when we go, where we go, how we go, who's with us when we go, all of those details. My sister-in-law's dad, who died last Saturday, the weekend before, we were in the middle of Jonathan's wedding weekend, and they were all down here for the wedding, my brother and his whole family and his kids and Terry. So, how considerate of her dad to wait until they got back from the wedding weekend and not to leave while they were down here, doing all that fun stuff with the family. So I think you can talk to any funeral director, and they'll have just endless stories about families that have sat with somebody forever, for weeks or months or years even, and they got up to get a cup of coffee, or they were gone for the evening to get some rest, or went home to take a shower, and their loved one died while they were gone, and they feel guilt about it. And there's no guilt necessary because we all make that decision. And when that happens, I think it's important to remember, too, not only that we make those decisions ourselves when we leave, but also there's usually a bigger picture. And the person who dies when nobody's with them, I'm sure some of the equation is that they think that it's going to be easier on everybody if they're not there when they take their last breath. And so I hope that helps, Penny. Please get a copy of my book, Angelic Attendants, What Really Happens as We Transition from This World into the Next. And I believe it will give you lots of information and provide comfort to you and your family. And when you're done reading it, give it to your family members. So I hope that helps. Okay. who do we have next?
Okay, Julie, we have Charlene from Palm Beach, Florida, and that's spelled Cherilyn. Dear Julie, I'm going through a very difficult time, my friend, and need your support. I've been undergoing a series of tests after we started the IVF process. Of course, they have had to do a ton of blood work, but some of the levels came back really abnormal, so they continued testing. During the past month, they have found out that I have a rare autoimmune disease called mixed tissue connective disease. It's affecting my body in ways I never thought possible. Pretty much my body is killing itself. At the same time, they are testing me for Crohn's disease because my abdomen and small intestines is really swollen. On Friday, they are sending me to a neurologist because I need a CT scan of the brain. The doctor says I may have a brain tumor due to the disease and results coming back. Please do a medical scan on me and let me know what you find. I'm very scared, but have faith. Thanks, Charlene.
Okay. I think it's Cherilyn. Did you say Cherilyn?
I think you are right, Julie. It's Cherilyn. That's it. That's
Cherilyn.
That's
okay.
Southern.
I'm
Okay.
close to Charlene, but
well,
still a little different. You were close. That was good. All right. So, Cherilyn, here we go. Connecting to you in West Palm. Got you. Shooting energy from your feet up through the top of your head. Yeah, lots of inflammation. Again, inflammation looks like red fog on body parts. I am getting that calmed down with anti-inflammatory energy, which is a royal blue color. And I'm going in. First of all, you're full of yeast, candida, which is helping with your bloat. And Crohn's disease would, that oftentimes is misdiagnosed candida. So let me get the yeast calmed down with that. And I know that sounds so simplistic, but that's why they call the overgrowth of candida the missing diagnosis. And people go down this black hole of medical care with all these funky diagnoses, and it's yeast all along. You clear up the yeast, and the rest of the stuff goes away. So do you have the mixed tissue connective disease? Does Cherilyn have mixed tissue connective disease? I get a no on that. Does she have a brain tumor? Let me look at your brain. I get there's a benign growth. So I would say that's a tumor, but it's benign. It's pink healthy tissue. Let me get that out. Excuse me. So again, I'm encapsulating it just to make sure that those cells stay there. We're going to do a DNA thing like we did before on another person that had submitted a question, and we'll just get that reprogrammed. See what's going on with that. It's on the side of your head, and those tumors that I'm seeing in people's brains, you guys, I think they're from holding your cell phone up to your head. Do not hold your cell phone near your head. If you look at those thermography images of what it looks like on a scan when you have your head, your phone next to your face, oh my God, it's all the red is crazy. I think the increase in the brain cancer, the glioblastoma, my own brother had malignant melanoma on his ear. Well, he wears Bluetooth on that ear for years. I said, stop that. I don't even think the Bluetooth wireless are good. I think if you're going to use earbuds, have them be wired and have the phone in your hand and keep it away from your head. Likewise, when you're asleep at night, keep your phone away from your head. A lot of people sleep with it on their pillow or sleep with it next to their bed on a nightstand or something. Turn off the Wi-Fi. Put it on airplane mode, or at least turn off the Wi-Fi on it. It's best if it can be 3 feet away from you at all times, but especially keep it away from your head. All right. So you do have inflammation. I think it's from the candida. Why don't you schedule a private consult with me, Cherilyn, Julie at AskJulieRyan.com is my email, but just go on the website, AskJulieRyan.com, click on book an appointment, and pick a date and time. Let's do a deep dive on this. I don't think these diagnoses are right, and I think you're going to be fine. This stuff's all fixable. So, okay. All right, who's next?
Okay, we have Diane from Barrington, Kansas. Says, "Hi, Julie. I am so thrilled to have discovered you. I was driving home late one night, a couple of hours from my home, and you were a guest on Coast to Coast. You sure made that drive so much more enjoyable. I was so impressed with you from the moment I heard your voice. Then a few days later, I had forgotten to write down your contact numbers. Another coincidence? Yeah, right. I found you again and started listening to your podcast. My question is about my 5-year-old border collie, Betsy. She is a very smart, but at times she is driving me nuts. She is a house dog and has been spoiled rotten by my husband, of course, who spends at least 2 weeks a month in Florida. Every time he leaves, a sweet dog, she pouts and waits for him. I have told him to be sure and tell her he will come back. She hates to go into the backyard if there is a chance of rain or bad weather. I leave the room for 5 minutes and she messes on the floor. I do not know what to do to help control this behavior. I am at my wit's end and honestly do not know what to do. Once an animal is adopted into our family, they stay until they pass. This border collie is making things so much more difficult. I am also taking care of my son's dog, a little pug, and I have a little Yorkie. I'm so hoping Betsy can get with the program. I knew this probably has to do with the fact my husband is leaving her. She is feeling abandoned and is acting out. Thank you so much, Diane."
Wow. All right. So, Diana, I'm going to hook into you in Kansas, and from you, I'll go to Betsy, and we'll ask little Miss Betsy some questions and see what kind of guidance we can get that will help you with her. I agree. She's probably pouting, but here we go. Laser beam, hook it into you. Okay, from you, got Betsy. Betsy, what's up? What is up with you when Diane's husband leaves? I don't know that she told us his name, did she? I don't think she did, just the dog's name. All right, let's see. She's afraid he's not going to come back, so Diane, you're right on that. She's saying she just doesn't want to be there if he's not there. She wants to know if he can take her with him. He's probably flying. That's a question for him, though. And it sounds to me like she doesn't act up when he's home. Doesn't it to you, Tim?
I agree. Yeah, I think most people, when they have pups and pets of all kinds, there's always a favorite. We had Katie Girl. We loved Katie. She was a Keeshond collie, basically. German Shepherd. And she loved Julie. Now, she liked me, but she really liked Julie.
Yeah.
And I guess it's because, honey, you take her on more walks. But
probably.
No, I think they do get their favorites.
Yeah. Okay. So the other thing that came in for Betsy, Diane, is to put doggy diapers on her. Put doggy diapers on her when your husband's out of town, and then she's not going to mess. There's that. I think you can put her in a crate, too, when you're not with her, and that's going to help her, too, crate training, even though she's older. And then I would talk to the vet. If Mallory was here, our new daughter-in-law, I would ask Mal what to do, but they're on their honeymoon, so I won't disturb her for this question. But let me see if there's anything else that Betsy has to tell us. She's just afraid he's not going to come back. It's an abandonment thing. And she just doesn't really want to be there just with you. Sorry if that hurts your feelings, but see what your husband says. Maybe he can take her with him. And if not, then maybe he can stay home more. I don't know. But I'm sorry I'm not getting more suggestions, but I think you already know what's going on. So thanks for your question, and good luck with Betsy the dog. All right. Do we have any more questions?
We have one more.
Okay.
This is Paula from Perth, Dover, New Brunswick, Canada.
Okay.
Says, hi, Julie. I'm letting my past lives stop me from finding my life purpose. Thanks for your guidance, Paula.
She's letting her past lives, or am I letting my past lives?
No. Well, am I letting my past lives stop me from finding my life purposes?
Okay.
So,
all right.
There you go.
So I'm going to connect to you, Paula, up in Canada. So here comes my laser beam. All right, got you. First of all, no, your past lives aren't stopping you from anything. So again, we talked about this a little bit ago with another question somebody had submitted, which is figure out what interests you and then start exploring it. When we go to curiosity, it immediately raises our vibrational level and allows inspiration to come in. When we feel crappy about whatever, if we're angry or sad or mad or any of that, we're vibrating at a low level, and you don't want to act on any thoughts that you get on that because you're on a hamster wheel of negativity usually when you feel bad. You know how when you feel really badly and then you have a thought and then that leads to another thought that makes you feel worse, and then you're just on this spinning wheel. So what you want to do to get off of that is just go to being curious. As soon as you go to curiosity, it raises your vibrational level. When your vibrational level is raised, you're going to get thoughts that I call inspiring in order for you to think about something and then you want to take action on those thoughts. Maybe it means you're researching something online. Maybe it means you're researching something in a library or a bookstore or something like that. But again, take one step at a time. Check it out. It's going to lead you to another thought. Act on that thought. That's going to lead you to another thought. Act on that thought. So it may not be in succinct order either. Like you may be inspired to research border collie behavior problems. And you go online and you check that out, like with Diane, the question we were just answering. And then your next thought is you read something there about border collies and it leads you to what's the best diet for them. And then you start researching that and you check that out. And then that tells you something about there's a border collie training program. And you click on that and you look at that. So just follow the steps. Those are all different types of inspiration that you can follow. And Paula, you're wearing the ruby slippers. We all are. We're all headed towards whatever our spirit's path is, and however it unfolds is perfect. However it has unfolded up to this point is perfect. However it's unfolding now is perfect. So remember that. Even if it doesn't feel perfect, the more you resist it, you're just going to stay stuck. So if you can get to a place where it just feels good, you accept everything that's happened and everything that is happening, boy, that's really going to set you on a trajectory to help you figure out what it is you want to do. So, all right. Any other questions, Tim?
No, honey, that's it.
Okay. Well, thanks for being our question asker this evening.
Well, you are more than welcome. And let me just say to your audience, thank you for being so kind to my wife. She thinks the world of each of you. She loves doing what she does. I've watched her for many, many years, and you are truly a blessing to her, and I thank you for that. So with that, I will sign off.
Okay. Bye, babe.
Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. We do this show, as a reminder, every Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. The call-in number is 712-770-4160, and the access code is 533-677#. You can find this information a whole bunch of different places on my website, AskJulieRyan.com. scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, and you'll see all this call-in information. It's also in the show notes everywhere that you download podcasts. We're on dozens and dozens of networks around the globe and in over 100 countries. And if you look in the show notes, it'll have all this call-in information. We're also on YouTube, and you can find it there in the show notes too. While you're on my site, sign up for my blog. And that's a question that somebody has submitted online. That's what we did this evening, all these questions. And then I answer it. And so I send that out each week. And in the email, the body of the email is a reminder to call into the show with your question. And then lastly, while you're on my site, sign up for a private appointment. And then I'll have a whole hour to talk to you about whatever you want to talk about. We can do medical stuff. We can do past life stuff. I can scan your pet. I can tell how close to death a loved one is if you're concerned about somebody that's dying. We can do spirit guide stuff. We can talk to a deceased loved one. We can do any and all of that plus more in the time that we have together. And that makes it really fun. And it's great for me, too, to get to know you, even for a short period of time when you do that. Follow me on Instagram at AskJulieRyan and on Facebook at AskJulieRyan, and then also on YouTube at AskJulieRyan. And with that, everybody, I'll be back, God willing, next week and do another live call-in show. But this is something that I needed to come up with. I needed to come up with something quickly. I didn't have time to schedule another interview, and I just thought this would be a way for me to get some questions answered. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a great week, and talk to you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye now.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to follow Julie on Twitter at AskJulieRyan and like her on Facebook at AskJulieRyan. For information on how you can ask Julie your question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.